Well, you found a resistance. Now why don't you tell me why exactly you sought us out? You're surprised that you actually were able to meet one of us? Don't get too excited. I'm not one of the top dogs, so to speak. First, you're going to have to prove your intention to me. And then maybe we can see about moving you up the ladder. You're not from Edelstein, are you? No. I'd recognize you. We're a pretty tight-knit community, all things considered. Especially after the Black Wings came to town and set up shop in the mine. So the way I see it, there are two reasons why you could have come here. Either you're genuine. You have seen what the influence of the Black Mage did to Maple World. Or you're one of them. You're trying to infiltrate. Now, I might not be the strongest or the most important member of the Resistance, but I have certain skills that make me unique. So let's see what you're made of. Come to me, spirit. And let's see how much darkness resides in our friend here. You must know there are quite a number of powers that govern this world. Elemental powers, powers of light and darkness. We all know what darkness can do to destroy this world, but if you can harness it, it can prove useful. Even in the fight against the darkest magic there is. Long ago, when I first started my training, I was gifted a book. I made a pact under the guidance of my mentor. This pact allows me to call upon the spirits, use them in battle, either to lay waste to my foes or aid my allies. The spirit can tell us many things. Things that go unnoticed. Seems like you're passing my little test. Good. But don't get too excited yet. This is just one of the many trials you'll have to face as a part of the resistance. Since you've come this far, you must know what we're up against. You must know why the resistance was created. You see, a very, very long time ago, there was a mage who studied the light, tried to understand it, and used it to help people. Everyone knew him and loved him, even though he was a bit of a recluse, always locked away in his laboratory running experiments. But eventually he realized something. He realized that without darkness, there is no light. And slowly he became corrupted. He wanted to understand ultimate darkness and eventually bring it upon the world. He became known as the Black Mage, and he reigned terror on Maple World, destroyed entire continents, tore the land apart. 5 heroes made an ultimate sacrifice. They weren't able to defeat him, but they were able to lock him away, to seal him. Nobody knows what happened to these heroes, but there are legends about them, saying that they are locked away somewhere deep in slumber. Their spell backfired on them, and they were locked away just as the Black Mage was. For many years, these seals held, but recently they've started weakening, and with that, some of his former commanders have started to awaken as well. Nobody knows exactly why, but they infiltrated Edelstein. They now run the mines and control it. They call themselves the Black Wings. It is rumored that Orchid herself now runs these Black Wings, maintaining them and preparing when the Black Mage finally does reawaken. You don't know who Orchid is? Well, I'm not too surprised. Many things about the Great War so many years ago have been lost to history, but not all. It is said that the Black Mage, before it was totally corrupted, met 2 spirits. These spirits wanted to experience life, wanted to experience mortality. So the Mage did just that. He gave them life and named them Orchid and Lotus. They became his most fearsome and dangerous followers. And it seems that this Orchid now is back to her nefarious plans. So naturally, someone had to stand up to this, had to protect this town and its people, had to make sure that we fought back to those who sought to destroy us. So that's what we are. A group of powerful, fighters. And you think you've got what it takes. I can see that you're determined. So what's your experience in fighting? What path do you think you want to go down? You're not an explorer, are you? Of course. They're quite well known around these parts. We don't really play that nice with them. We disagree on certain areas. That's why we keep to ourselves and normally don't recruit from outside of our town. But something tells me you've made up your mind. You want to know more about me? I guess if you really are going to join our ranks, introductions are in order. My name. You can call me lowercase x, uppercase X, Q, T, Mage, uppercase X, lowercase x. Battle Mage. I was always a good fighter. I was strong. I could defeat anyone in my path. But I've always had an interest in darkness. When I met Brighton, my mentor, I knew that I would be able to harness it safely. With his help. He taught me everything I know, and more. But using these spirits, these powers, it's not for everyone. The top of the resistance, they all act as mentors of sorts, depending on the path you want to go down. We've got a couple mechanics that use mechanized mounts to fight with. We have the wild hunters to form a connection with their animal and can strike down with dangerous ferocity. Of course, the blaster. They're an interesting sort, let's just say. But you might not be ready for that choice just yet. I think if you're really serious, you should experience what it's like to work for the resistance, to do everything in your power to help the people fight against our common enemy. Let's see. There are a couple of missions that are available. But what would fit you best? I don't think you're one for infiltration. There have been monsters that have been stealing some of our water supply. No. I think I know what you can do. Just outside of town. The gardens have been overrun with monsters. It's not safe anymore for the children to go out. And that's not the life that we want to live. We don't want to be fearful of going outside and going about our lives despite the looming threats. You should take them out. How many? What a strange question. Just take all of them out. Make sure the path is safe again. What do you say? I think you're up for the challenge. Alright. Off you go then. You can report back to me when you're done. That's right. You are awfully unprepared, aren't you? Let's see. Not the best gear. Your weapon does look serviceable, but that's about all I can say for it. Well, our stocks are a little low at the moment, but there's one thing that I can offer you. A health potion, freshly brewed. Have you ever used one of these before? They can come quite in handy if you're in a sticky situation. Just gulp them down, and it'll restore your health. Simple as that. This one was freshly brewed, so I hope it serves you well. Here you go. Just make sure you bind it to a useful key. Now, I think that concludes our business. Come see me when you're done. And I'll introduce you to some other members